Hi, this is Gilly, Radio Prepper, and this video is long overdue. I should have done it a long time ago, and it's an important subject in prepping. It's CB radio, and CB radio is very popular, at least it used to be. Now, not so much, but it hasn't disappeared, and it is the choice of many people for prepping purposes. I got a President Grant 2 CB radio. So it's the 11-meter band, 27 megahertz. And I like CB. You know, I was a CBer before I was an amateur radio operator. And I was about 14 years old at the time. It was the first social media. And I remember a grandmother having a CB in her kitchen. It was very common for people to have CBs, especially in their cars. In this video, I will tell you what I think of CB radio for prepping purposes, because it's very popular and a lot of people use it, and it's their first thought is to get a CB radio. Then we're going to install my President Grant 2 inside my Toyota Land Cruiser. Then there will be part 2, and that will be operations, portable, well, not portable, mobile operations in the mountains. And you may wonder, why haven't I talked about CB before? And the simple reason is that I had a license, I had an amateur license, and that gave me access to so many more frequencies that I didn't need CB. If I wanted to go up in the HF region around 30 megahertz, I could use the 10-meter band. CBs have, well, legally 40 channels. It is a channelized system where you have a certain distance between channels and you can switch channels. You don't input a frequency into your radio. Some radios will show you the frequency you're on, but typically you just rotate the button and you switch from one channel to another, 1 to 40. Modes of communication are AM, FM, which of course we know. I think they don't have FM in the US, so only AM, but in Europe we have AM and FM. And something that you should get if you get a CB. Get a CB with SSB, single sideband, and that is comprised of USB, upper sideband, and LSB, lower sideband. The reason for that is that it's much better for receiving weak signals, and also the width of the signal, the bandwidth that you use is about 3 kilohertz, 2.5 to 3 kilohertz. So it's a pretty narrow signal. And when you say narrow signal, it means more amplitude, more power. So a CB that outputs 4 watts on AM and FM is going to output 12 watts on USB or LSB. So if you do get one, of course they are a little more expensive, but absolutely do get a CB with LSB and USB, so SSB. That is pretty much the only way you are going to make very, very long distance communications. It does happen in FM and AM, but it's harder. What made CB popular really is that it doesn't require a license. And in most places, it still doesn't. Except for a few totalitarian countries, you can find CB radios in practically any country in the world. And that would be one of the main reasons to get a CB radio. Because if I compare CB to the 10-meter band, which is an amateur radio band with very, I could say exactly similar performance, there aren't many reasons to use the 10-meter band. So there wouldn't be many reasons to use the 11-meter band CB radio. And the reason for that is that CB 27 megahertz 11 meter is at the very top of the HF bands. So propagation is not always present for such a high frequency. It's almost VHF. It's still HF, but it behaves a bit like VHF also, which is probably why it's good for local, but you can't rely on it for long distance communications, especially now that we are at the bottom of the solar cycle. Propagation, refraction in the ionosphere doesn't happen all the time, and much less for higher frequencies, which makes the 10-meter and CB bands not very useful. Now that said, there are modes of propagation that happens sometimes, like E-layer propagation or tropospheric ducting or things like that, that does allow communication up to a couple of 100 miles or even more than that. And of course, when you have a skip refraction on the ionosphere, then you have extremely long distances. But you just don't know when that's going to happen. Otherwise, CB is a good option for local because, of course, it's not so high in frequency like UHF or even the 2-meter band, and it does better in wooded areas, for instance. And you can get a little further than line of sight, which, with the UHF, not so much. So for local range, for extending your local range a bit, that's a good option. Now I need to talk a little bit about amateur radio operators and CBers. And well, it seems like some amateur radio operators look down on CBers, and I don't think that's the good attitude. It's not the attitude to have. I think the attitude should be that hey, those guys are interested in radio. Let's bring them in. Let's teach them, and let's get them into amateur radio and expand their bandwidth and access to different frequencies. And on the other hand, you have some CBers who look at amateur radio operators and think they're uppity and have a bad attitude and just don't like them. And it's not really the case, but you have to keep in mind that if you haven't studied amateur radio really, or radio, I should say just radio, in detail and in depth, you don't know as much as someone who hasn't. When you climb up the ladder, the experience ladder in radio operations and theory, you get a much better understanding of what you're dealing with, and you can be much more performant in actually making contact. I remember when I was a CBer, I thought I knew quite a bit about radio, and it was nothing. I knew nothing. And I thought I did. And that's not, again, to be condescending towards CBers, but if you have just installed a CB and check your SWR and made some contacts, there are a lot of things that you could learn on top of that to be more successful. And in prepping situations, emergency situations, that could make the difference. So even if you don't want to get an amateur license, buy the books, and study and get to know the stuff, propagation modes, modulation modes, frequencies. There's a lot of stuff, antennas, antenna theories and building. There are a lot of things you can learn to make your CB more performant, to make it a better tool. So I need to get down to the garage and take the CB and drill a hole in my my car hood or bonnet, like you guys from England would say, and install the CB inside the cabin. I thought about putting the antenna right here first on the side, but the problem is that this is at a certain angle and the antenna is going to be tilted to the right. So instead I decided to put it in the middle of the hood. Right here should be a good spot. So we'll get rid of the radio, and I'm going to try to find here's the plus and minus probably. Those two wires are probably for the speaker, the external speaker. And of course it doesn't quite fit because, of course, nothing quite fits, ever. I'll have to replace this part here because it's broken. But in the meantime, I got a file. Pretty nice. I even removed a little bit too much plastic on the sides, but it does fit now. All I have to do is use some epoxy and fix this piece of plastic. The only problem I have with epoxy is that as hard as you try, it just gets everywhere. Well, for once I managed not to cover myself with the stuff, so that's great. And while it's setting, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I am going to use duct tape here to attach the radio to the dashboard plastic piece. So I'm going to use it right here on the top. Fortunately, it isn't blocking the speaker because I don't have a jack for the external speaker, so right now that's going to be it. The difficulty here is to find a spot to get the cable from the engine bay inside the dashboard, and I think I'm going to have to drill a hole. It's going to come out pretty much, I think, just about here. And bingo! I routed it from here, the antenna mount, down this way, and here, not too close to the turbo, and all the way down here, where it goes through the firewall. You know, guys, I've come to the realization that this might not fit. It might be a bit too long. That's really stupid. I should have measured this before. I thought it was okay. I might need a spacer here in between. And I mean, that can be, you know, made to look good, but I can still stick my fingers here under and on the sides, and that doesn't look good. Yeah. Ever seen an $8 PL159? That's it. It's not made of gold or silver, but it comes from a marine shop. Of course, everything that has marine stamped on it is 4 times more expensive. Well, it's on, but it's an ugly installation. It's about a couple inches too long. I'm gonna have to replace this part here by something else. I had to anyway because it's broken, but I don't know how I'm going to secure this so that it doesn't move when I'm driving to work tomorrow. I'm so dumb. Sometimes. Alors j'ai entendu un 06, un 01. Je viens d'installer mon matériel ici, hein, donc je ne suis pas certain que ça fonctionne encore bien. Attendez un petit peu, je vais faire quelques réglages. Allez-y, transmettez pendant ce temps-là.
C'est Lucky, 06 14, Mike Alpha 01, plusieurs avis de DOGE.
Ok, j'ai reçu Mike 06 14, je pense, je suis pas certain. Je vous reçois, je dirais 3-3, 3-3, à vous.
Ok, moi j'ai un bon de 5, par contre, je répète, 14, Mike Alpha Sierra 01.
14 Alpha Mike Sierra 01, c'est bien ça?
Négatif, 14, Mike Alpha Sierra. Je répète, Mike Alpha Sierra 01.
14 Mike Alpha Sierra 01, bien reçu cette fois-ci, merci. Hein. Oui, moi c'est Golf Niner Lima, ici à Antibes.
Ok, je suis sur un peu plus haut, je suis sur Sofia Antipolis.
Ah d'accord, oui je connais, hein, je suis censé aller y travailler bientôt, dans une semaine je pense. Très bien.
Ok, bien reçu.
Et votre prénom c'est quoi?
Luc.
Ok Luc, bien reçu. Moi c'est Gilles, hein, Golf India Lima. Et donc je viens d'installer ici ce président Grant 2 dans mon 4x4. Hein. Je viens de déménager dans la région et je ne suis pas du coin. Mais bon voilà, je fais pas mal de radio amateur aussi, hein, mais je pensais qu'un CB ce serait quand même beaucoup mieux dans la voiture. Hein.
Affirmatif, affirmatif.
Très bien, bah merci beaucoup Luc. Hein. Je vais continuer là à finir mon installation parce que tout est un peu, c'est pas encore fixé, donc je vais terminer. Et puis ensuite, eh bien, je vais pas tarder à aller me coucher parce que je dois aller me lever tôt.
Ok Gilles, par contre, est-ce que tu peux me redonner ton indicatif s'il te plaît?
Oui, c'est Golf Niner Lima. Golf 9 Lima.
J'ai reçu Golf et Lima, mais pas
9, numéro 9, Niner, 9. Très bien Luc, hein. Merci encore et une excellente soirée et peut-être, j'espère, à une autre fois sur la fréquence ici. Hein.
Il y a des grandes chances, hein, parce que je fais beaucoup. Allez, à bientôt.
Allez, bonne soirée, merci encore.
Bonne soirée.
Well guys, it works. At least it works. It doesn't look good, but SWR is flat on the whole band, the 40 channels, and I'm not surprised. The antenna I'm using, by the way, is the Stereo Performance or Performer, Stereo Performer 5000. And it seems to work pretty well because it's actually close to a quarter wave. It's about 2 meters long. Anyway, guys, part 2 might be more interesting and I might have found a solution for this installation nightmare here. But hey, it's working. Have a good one.